So today I welcome on two of the top high school seniors playing basketball in Indiana right now. They also happen to play for the same school, the same team, and that team happens to be my former high school. Joseph Bobilya and Kaleb Edwards are here. So, first of all, thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate it.
Um,
Now, I talked to Joseph back in July, which is crazy that it was that long ago, where we really didn't know what was going to happen with this basketball season. So I guess my first question to you guys, how surprised are you that you're sitting here now, like getting ready for a state tournament, looking back on where we were a year ago? Go,
I mean,
yeah.
I guess I wouldn't really be surprised. I was kind of hoping that nothing would get canceled, but I mean, this is what we've been waiting for since then. So I think we're pretty, I guess, okay with how the season's been going because it's been going pretty well. So
No.
Yeah, I would say we're just glad that we got to play. I mean, there was a big question on if we were going to even be able to play. So we got 20 games in so far. So that was nice to be able to do that.
No. And you had a little COVID pause for a little bit, right? You guys were quarantined.
yeah.
What was that like? Where in the season did that lie, and how much did that kind of affect the team?
I mean, it was like right after Christmas break. So I guess I kind of could see that coming a little bit, but yeah, it was a big stretch of games that we had to miss and then reschedule and then kind of get back into shape after Christmas break and not being around the guys and being at practice for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think it definitely. I mean, it's just not something that anyone's ever been through for high school. Like in a high school basketball season, you never just don't play for 2 weeks or practice at all. So, I mean, it was tough, but it is what it is, and we're back on track now.
And what did you guys do during those 2 weeks? Were you just had to put solo work in, do your own thing, or were you able to maybe get together in groups two? I don't know how that works. What the protocols were.
I think most of it was kind of like solo work. We had like a Zoom call with coach every single day, and he'd just give us stuff to go through, like conditioning stuff, and then like ball handling stuff and things like that. And then when we could, we got together in groups.
Did you? So you take 2 weeks off, kind of right after Christmas. Do you think that could have possibly helped you in the long run, where it's all right, I'm a little more rested going into this back half of the season, getting ready, hopefully a long tournament run? Do you think silver lining, this could be good for us? You're a little healthier, 2 weeks off, kind of let the bodies rest? Or was it we kind of need these extra games, we need this extra experience?
I mean, I definitely wasn't happy that we had to take 2 weeks off, but in the long run, I feel like, yeah, it definitely could have helped. We kind of regrouped and thought about everything and thought about our first, I don't know how many games it was, maybe 8 before it. So, yeah, I think it kind of got us rebooted for the home stretch, and now we're ready for the tournament.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think anyone was really happy about it. But I mean, it was something you just got to deal with this year. And I think we dealt with it pretty well. And after that, I think we've been rolling pretty well after.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you guys have been doing really well. I mean, was it you guys 17-3, something like that?
Yeah.
But one of the better records I can remember in Guerin history. So obviously something's working. Going into this year, I think we talked a little bit about it last time, but what were the goals going into the season? Obviously, it's your guys' senior year. You're both, you get one more shot at this. So I guess for you guys as seniors, what were your guys' maybe individual goals? And then have you guys got together and before the season, this is what we want to accomplish this year?
I mean, the first goal is always to win a state championship. So that's been the main goal since we started in the off season. But I mean, also winning a sectional. And we wanted to win a conference championship, but we did not do that. We got second. We also didn't want to lose a game at home, which we accomplished. We haven't lost there. And I mean, Kaleb, you got anything?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of what he said. First, we knew that we hadn't won a sectional in a while, so we were obviously the state championship is the goal, but I mean, you got to get past sectional first. So I think that was a big thing for us. So I think hopefully we get that done in the next week. And then you kind of said individual. I didn't really have like stat goals or anything like that, but I just like being the starter like last year and then coming back, I just knew that like since we had 8 seniors and we had some young guys that were going to end up playing a lot, I just wanted to be like a better leader and help those guys get better.
No. And now I think both of you, Joseph, I know for a fact, like you grew up watching Guerin and like you saw 2 state championships. You saw teams do well, make long tournament runs. Kaleb, I don't know how did you follow Guerin growing up?
Yeah, since like 4th grade, I think I've been going to all those camps and stuff and following them. So.
Perfect. So both of you guys grew up. You've seen a lot of success through Guerin. So like, what would that mean to you to kind of be a part of that, make a run, and look for a state championship? Like, what would a state championship mean to you growing up, kind of watching that from afar?
Yeah, I mean, that would be – I mean, you asked me what has been our goal since the season started, and I said that. But, I mean, I've been wanting to do that since I was like 8 or 9 years old. So, I mean, that would be one of the coolest things ever for me.
Yeah, definitely me too. I remember I went to that state championship, the 2015 one, and just imagining myself in those guys' shoes, thinking about how like this is going to be me in a couple of years. Like I want to do this too. I want to be on the court and at Bankers Life playing. So I mean that would just be dream come true, honestly.
And now, does it feel weird? Because I always think when you're a kid looking up at like the seniors in high school, they seem ginormous. And now, like you're seniors now, like you are those people. Like, does it still feel weird that like you feel like almost small compared to like those big figures? Because when you're a kid, they seem larger than life.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, one time when I was in like 3rd grade or something, we had this like AAU practice at Guerin, and they like the whole team like signed a T-shirt for us, and like I just think that's so crazy now. Like if we were signing autographs, but like then I thought it was cool.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, obviously because we had like Munson and then Holba that were just 6'5", like big dudes all around. Like even though I guess I'm like 6'2", but I don't feel like I was as big as they were in high school. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's still kind of surreal that I'm a senior, I guess. But
yeah, and it works both ways. Like for me, you guys were freshmen when I was a senior.
Yeah.
And now it's like you guys are seniors, and I feel like, oh, you guys are babies compared to when I was a senior. But I'm sure people 4 years above me were thinking the same thing about us. So it's like it's weird how looking back, everything seems a little different. One thing I did want to talk about with you guys is a topic I talked to a buddy of mine, Cole Jenkins, about. So he played at Carmel, and we talked a lot about the Carmel system. Obviously, they win a shit ton at Carmel. That's what they do. They win. So, but he also talked about how their system, it kind of hurts players on an individual level because they're not able to put up these crazy numbers within the Carmel system. Obviously, they get a win, so that's a nice plus. But like when it goes to moving on to the next level, college, like whatever that next level is, it's harder to excel in a system like that where it's so based around the team. So I just want to ask you guys, because you guys only played for Coach Allen, correct? You never played under Smith? Okay, so how do you think Coach Allen's system benefits you as an individual player? And then we can flip it, and how does it help the team?
I mean, individually, I think it benefits me a lot because, I mean, he kind of just trusts me to go out there and make plays. So, I mean, I don't play like restricted or anything. I just play loose and do what I think we need to do.
Yeah. For me, it's kind of the same thing. Like he doesn't really, I basically have the green light. I mean, he doesn't want me taking anything too stupid shot, but like I don't feel like I ever have to like worry about like a decision I'm going to make on the court. I don't have to worry about getting pulled for like one shot that I missed. So I mean, I think it's a really good system. He lets us play open and free, and what we need to do to get it done.
And then how about the team? What kind of atmosphere do you think he creates within the locker room, within the team? Like, how does he bring you guys together?
I mean, I think if you talk about it a system way, like we said, I mean, I think we have guys that have a lot of talent, and he doesn't really try and like get in the way of that. Like he tries to just like he knows we can play with about anybody, and he just lets us do that. And then, I mean, just trying to create that winning culture like it is at Carmel. I mean, we were 13-11 my sophomore year and 15-8 my junior year. So I mean, those aren't terrible records, but we're trying to get it to where in the future, like 17-3 is more normal for a regular season.
Yeah, I think along with what he's kind of saying, like I think that since he knew coming into the season that we had a bunch of talent, we had a bunch of guys that could score the ball, we had a bunch of guys that could make plays on the offensive and defensive end. So I think just kind of like taking all those talents, putting them together and like making the team mesh is kind of what he's just been trying to do. And I think it's worked pretty well.
And now looking at just this season by itself, what's it been like? No fans. I'm sure away games are different on how many fans they let and stuff. But like you said, you guys had an undefeated record at home. How did it change compared to the past couple of years not having the amount of students there supporting?
It's terrible, man. I mean, like part of the stuff you said about the past was like having a lot of people there, and like those games used to be crazy. And I mean, we were 17-3 this year. We thought that, I mean, we could probably bring a little bit of that. So yeah, I mean, it sucked not having that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I remember the rebuff game we had maybe like 100 fans. I was like, we just beat our biggest rival ever, and that we've lost to 6 straight years, and there's basically nobody here. Like it kind of sucked, but I mean, we powered through it, and so.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be tough because obviously you guys are having such a successful year. You want to share it with as many people as possible. I don't think that's a selfish way to look at it. It's like it's a school thing. Like it's you guys being successful is good for the school, and more people want to partake in that. It just sucks we're in a time where they can't. So I mean, you got to make the most of it. And I guess at the end of the day, winning's going to speak for itself. So whether there's one person there or 10,000, you guys win, you win. They can't take that away. So I guess that's the silver lining way to look at it. But what has surprised you guys the most this year about individual, like as the team? Like, is it a player or just results that have surprised you, or someone who stepped up that you were like, whoa, this guy came out of nowhere?
I think Matthew Gillis has really surprised me. We get on him a lot, but he's put in the work, and he's definitely a huge factor of our team this year. I knew he could always do it, but it's just if he was willing to, I guess, put in the work and then actually make it happen on the court. So I think definitely a big shout out to Gillis.
I mean, I think every player on our team, including us too, is a lot better than they were when that season ended last year. So, I mean, I don't think anyone after that game saw us going 17-3 this year. So I think it's just everyone really. I mean, we've gotten a lot better individually, and that's translated to the team.
Yeah, and I'm obviously
definitely shout out to Gillis though.
Shout out to you. I mean, he's got to carry quite the load. Being you guys don't have a lot of size. I wouldn't say he's not known for so he's got to carry the weight of being the big guy pretty much for the most part. I feel like obviously the way you guys play helps mitigate that a little bit, but he's got to carry a big weight there. I want to know for you guys playing together. Obviously, you guys are 1 and 2. You guys are putting up awesome numbers. Playing together, how nice is it knowing? All right, so like Joseph, you go out there. All right, if I'm having a bad day, Caleb can carry some of my load. Caleb, you go out there. All right, if I'm having a bad day, Joseph can carry my load. Like having that almost sidekick out there, it's like I don't have to carry as much as I need to.
Yeah, I mean it's great because I don't know what you do to plan for it if you're the other team. So you got 2 guys you got to stop, and then we got Gillis and Will who score a lot too. So I mean, I think that's the number one reason that we're who we are right now is because you don't just plan for one guy to beat us. You got, I mean, anybody could score 25 and we could win. So,
Yeah, I think it's definitely great. Like, I can go out there and I don't have to worry about putting up 30 shots because I'm like, if I put up 10 shots and Joe puts up 15, he's going to hit 10, 11 of them. So I'm not worried. So, I mean, that and then kind of what he said too, knowing that we've got two other guys and even some guys off the bench that can come in, put up numbers and make plays. I think it's just that's just been the great thing about this team.
No. Now I'm going to ask you guys to make some player comparisons for each other. So, Joseph, you're going to think of a player comp for Kaleb. Kaleb, think of a player comp for Joseph. Who do you think their game resembles? It could be college level, but maybe think NBA comp. What do you see in the other person?
I mean, I had a college one. I'm trying to think of a lot of people say Eric Hunter for Kaleb in college. He's just that skinny lefty. I got it. Hold on a second, bro.
Take your time. It's tough. I'll try to think of one too for you guys. Because that's the thing. I have not been able to see you guys play in person, or I guess Kaleb. I haven't seen you play in person as much as I'd like. Joseph, I've seen you play since you were like 2. So I feel like
I played in your house.
Yeah, you played in my house more than you played at Guerin at this point. I had a good one for you, Joseph, the other day. I was thinking. I was watching the NBA game and I was like, oh yeah, Peyton Pritchard.
That was mine.
No way.
That was mine. I think I told him that a couple weeks ago.
I watched the Celtics and I was like, that dude kind of moves like Joseph. He's shorter guy, little explosive, but dude can shoot out of the gym and holds his own against bigger bodies.
Bro, Kaleb, who is good that's lefty?
I don't know. Only person I could think of is Harden, and I don't play like Harden. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A lefty? Or am I wrong about that?
Who?
Zion?
Yeah, maybe Zion. I mean,
hell of a comparison.
Zion plays like more back to the basket than Kaleb, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just gonna say Eric Hunter. I'll come up with one though.
Right, fair. I do want to talk about 2 specific instances this year. First of all, Joseph, just recently a video has leaked of you pulling up from near the logo. What's going through your head as you're shooting that shot?
I mean, I had hit 4 before it, and the clock was winding down, and I knew that if I drove, I wasn't going to get a better shot, and his hand was down, so I just shot it. I don't really know.
Now, were you, as soon as that shot leaves your hand, first of all, your confidence, you know that's going in, but a part of you, are you thinking, if I miss this shot, coach might tear me a new one from pulling up from this deep?
I mean, like, originally I wasn't really thinking that because I thought the clock was lower than it was. But, yeah, after I realized – because there was still, like, 6 seconds left when I shot it. But, yeah, I mean, I kind of could tell it was in.
Yeah, I knew it was in because I started walking to the bench immediately after I was like – I didn't know how much time was left either. I thought there was, like, 2 seconds left. So I saw you shot it. I went like this, and then I started walking to the bench.
It's like one of those clips where Steph pulls up from like half court, and then Jordan's already running down the court.
I mean, especially since he had hit the 4 before, I was like, all right, I don't think he's missing. So
yeah, just in the zone. And now, Kaleb, let's talk about your dunks, man, because at some point, I don't know when this switch flipped. You just realize, oh, I can do this in a game.
Yeah, no one did.
It felt like every week you were just throwing down a haymaker. So
yeah, yeah, it was kind of weird for me too. I was talking to my dad about it when it happened. He was like, "So when did you decide you're just gonna like go up and dunk?" And I was like, "I don't really know. I just I was like, I think this guy's gonna keep backing up, so I just decided I don't know, take off from there and." I got it. So I don't really know. Coach asked me, he was like, Like, you don't even do this in practice. Like, you don't dunk anything in practice. Like, what? Where did that come from? I was like, I don't really know. I was just feeling good that day, I guess.
Yeah,
Like I've seen him dunk a lot, like in AAU and like on fast breaks, but I've never seen him go up in traffic like that, just throw it down. I was like, oh my.
like it's very rare to see that in a high school game where someone with it, like you can see a breakaway dunk,
Yeah.
like to go up against someone like someone's challenging at the rim and you just throw the nuts in the face, like that's pretty impressive. I mean, that alone would be my highlight tape for the rest of my life.
He did it with his right hand too.
I don't even think about that. Yeah, that's what, like I would just submit that to every job you. I have this kind of confidence. I'll get the job done. Like that's. Do you have a favorite dunk? Is the one that stands out? I feel like there was one. I forget who it was against. Was it? Did you dunk last year? I feel like you had one last year or a block.
No, I might have. No, I had one last year. But it wasn't. It was just like a breakaway. It wasn't anything like special.
Do you have a favorite?
Like of ones that I did, or like probably that one on senior night. I don't think anything really tops that.
Yeah. All right, now let's look forward a little bit. Caleb and I talked a little bit before the show. Sectionals coming up. Next Friday is the first game, correct?
Yeah.
So what kind of needs to be done to make a deep run? What do you guys talk about as a team? Be like, all right, if we get this, and this done, we're in good shape.
I mean, it starts with we kind of have a while till we play games, so we need to make sure we have good practices from here until next Friday. And I think a big thing is just like looking at the opponent in front of you. Like, I mean, a lot of people are like predicting who we're going to play and after we win our games. But I mean, anything can happen in March. It's just like college. Like, I mean, we could be the better team, but that doesn't always mean you're going to win. So you can't take anybody lightly, and you just got to play your game and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think same thing. I think kind of some of the teams we played earlier in this season, we kind of thought about them as like this team on paper definitely isn't as good as us, but you just can't do that in March. Like, you got to take every team like as seriously as you would take the biggest rival. So I think just going into that with that mindset, getting everybody locked in, like getting that extra gear in for playoff time, I think is the big thing we need to do.
And just, I mean, how excited are you guys for this? Just like, I mean, there's nothing better than it. It's March Madness basically. It's one and done. You get one chance senior year. Let's ride. Like, how pumped are you guys for this?
Can't even explain it.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Now, the last question I want to ask, I ask every single guest that comes on here. You can think of this as a basketball standpoint or just from life. So for both of you, what gets you up in the morning?
I mean, I'm going to be honest. Right now, it's definitely the basketball side of it. Like, even practice and stuff is just fun, and we got a big game coming up, and I mean, we all can't wait for that. So I'd say that's getting me up right now.
Yeah, I think kind of the same thing. Like, I remember during quarantine, I was like, that's why I was so mad. I was like, I can't go to practice today. I can't go see the guys, hang out with them at practice, and do what I need to do to get better on the court. So I think definitely the basketball aspect is the biggest thing that's getting me going right now.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you guys.
What gets you up?
What gets me up? Dude, everyone always asks me this question, and I try to answer differently. They always flip it back on me. I try to answer differently each day. But for me, honestly, it's a lot of my lifestyle right now is so, like, non-structured, where, like, each day is, and I have no idea what's going to happen. And I kind of love that. Like, obviously, I have certain obligations and responsibilities, but, like, I wake up each day and be like, I have an interview with you guys where, like, I'm not doing this every day. Like, I had to talk to people I haven't talked to that much. So let's hang out. So it's like kind of the unknown of, like, each day, new day. Let's ride. Let's figure it out. Right now, it's the weather, dude. It's 50 degrees out. It's beautiful. I want to hoop outside, but, like, yeah, each day is a new start. So we'll see what happens and just take it day by day. And that's what gets me up in the morning, I guess. But yeah, no, thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate it. I know I'll be watching next week, and however far you guys go, I'm sure people at home will be watching. Guerin community is going to be behind you guys, so good luck with all of that. So yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, dream girl, dreaming, I be dreaming. Missing all the days you got me fiending. I said I love you, babe, you know I mean it. Hey, yeah, dream girl, I be dreaming.